Footbap Nation, let's ride. Welcome back to another episode of the Footbaps recap. It's me, Brandon, back with my good friend Paul. Paul, say what's up.
Let's fucking go!
Oh shit, we are pumped up after a big dub by. Oh wait, no, you lost this week. Never mind.
I'm
All right, we're going through. We're gonna recap what happened in the league last week and waivers. Preview next week. Make our picks. Go over our picks from last week. You already know what the vibes are, and we're gonna start out strong right now. Me versus Dave, an absolute shellacking. I didn't want to say it on the podcast last week, but I did feel really good that I was going to beat Dave here, only because I had no one on bye that I can remember. Oh, well, Mike Williams and Herbert, but I felt confident in Kirk Cousins against Arizona. I feel like I just had a bunch of guys in good matchups, basically. And then he had Kelsey out on a bye. I mean, Hawkinson still played pretty good, but I don't know. I guess I just wasn't really afraid of Dave's team. I feel like Brees going down like derailed him almost.
I know. Yeah, he was looking like a big favorite, and now he just kind of got shit on. I don't know.
Yeah,
He's taking
I mean,
a turn for the worse.
I still think that he has a good team because he's going to be getting Kelsey back and like.
Yeah.
Even though Debo is out, like if we're being honest, Debo's like been pretty disappointing all year long. So I don't know.
Right.
It was kind of funny before. So it was Thursday night, and I had Bateman in my lineup because he was projected the most points, and I like having the most points. But I knew I wasn't going to play him, and then I was thinking of playing Gus, but then I was like, dude, I don't want my like game versus Dave to be over after Thursday night when these guys suck. And Gus was actually tearing up before he got hurt. 11 carries for 65 yards. He got hurt in like the third quarter. He's actually on his way to like a good game. So I benched them both. And then I was like, dude, how can I start Romeo Doubs when he got 0 points and I don't trust Wan'Dale Robinson? So I was like, dude, we're going with Khalil Herbert. And I think Khalil Herbert might just Khalil Herbert just might be like locked into my team. I mean, he's done better than, let's see what he is. Khalil Herbert's the 18th running back. Like, I don't know. I was like, I just didn't trust the other guys, so that paid off. But even if I started Romeo Doubs, who was pretty much the other guy, was between, he had a good week anyway, so Dave was kind of screwed. It was funny in this game. There was a moment in the game. Dave probably doesn't even like realize it because he was probably just watching the Steelers, but I was watching like all the games and there was no Browns on, so it was literally just the fantasy games. And I was down by like maybe 8 or 10, and Dalvin Cook ran a touchdown, and I was like, let's fucking go, dude. Now I'm only down like 2. And then I looked and I was like, what the fuck? How am I down by 20? And I realized Miles Sanders and someone else. Who was it? It was like, oh, Miles Sanders scored a touchdown, and then the Cowboys had that fumble recovery. Yeah. And I was like, oh my fucking god. So at first I was like, dude, I'm beating Dave this week. Like, it's the fourth quarter and this just happened, and now like we're tied, and I still had Saquon, Pittman, Terry, Ayuk, suck up. Like, I had like my whole team left and Dave had no one, and I was like, dude, let's fucking go. And then Dalvin Cook scores that touchdown, and then I look and I'm like, how am I down by like 20? And it's because like 3 guys on his team scored touchdowns basically. But either way, I came out with a dub. I can't be too mad. But
Dave has Deluche or whatever the fuck
Dulcich.
Yeah.
Duluth
buck trading underwear on his team.
Naked underwear. Yeah, he's doing his best Mike impression, which is holding on to all the tight end infinity stones. He's got 3 of them now. I wonder what he's.
I forgot he had Kelsey.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, we'll see what Dave does there, but I was happy to get a W, even though as we go through these games, you'll find out that it didn't even really matter because pretty much everyone that needed to lose won. But we got another high-scoring game here. I guess I was high scoring in the last one. Dave wasn't, but now we got two high scoring ones, and which is Kyle versus Gorman. Kyle beats Gorman 164 to 135, and Kyle was actually projected like 195 points at one point, but everyone kind of shit the bed in like the 4 o'clock games and stuff. Because in the 1 o'clock games, he got 30 points from Hertz, 30 points from Pollard, 30 points from Foreman, 25 points from Tyreek, and 16 and a half from Kyle Pitts, which is like, who would have ever seen that coming?
Yeah,
Um,
legendary.
yeah, but then the rest of the team kind of like shit their pants. Like Cooks did his shitting his pants thing again. Henderson shit his pants like he always does. McPherson literally got 0 points. That's pretty funny. Um, oh, and now that I think about it, it wasn't even just the 4 o'clock games because Hertz scored like all 28 points in the first half and stuff. Like, so it was basically at halftime of the 1 o'clock games, Kyle was projected like 200 points. Either way, though, Gorman has now lost 5 games in a row, which is tough.
Falling off. But, I mean, like, he scored a shitload. It's just unfortunate Kyle was matched up against him.
Yeah, Antonio Gibson is making a resurgence here. DeAndre Hopkins is pretty much saving Gorman from like sucking at this point. Like, not even joking, because if he lost Marquise and didn't have Hopkins, like, who the fuck would Gorman be starting right now? Devontae Parker.
0.
I mean, he's already. It's impressive that Gorman's putting up 135 and he's starting Chase Edmonds, who like essentially doesn't get playing time. Now he's on Denver.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Big
so
trade. Yeah, going back to Dave, dude, he's got Mostert, but they just got who'd they get from that trade?
oh
They're
yeah,
still gonna be like splitting kinda.
they
forget who they
got
got.
they got Jeff Wilson Jr. Yeah,
Oh,
so that's probably worse for Mostert actually
yeah.
because Chase Edmonds is useless. Jeff Wilson was
He could do
part.
stuff.
Yeah, but it was whatever like the coordinator there is was like with the 49ers, like they have like a rapport there, so I just think they're going to kind of split the two. Not that Mostert was doing all that much. Still kind of sucks though. Deontay Foreman getting 30 points for Kyle was the most unseen thing of all time. I would have literally never seen. I mean, I know it's Atlanta, but that's still like I just can't even believe it. Like Pollard getting 30 doesn't surprise me all that much because he's better than Zeke, and Zeke was out. But yeah, Gabe Davis, another disappointing week from Gabe Davis. Gabe Davis essentially scores 30 points or like 3.
He's like Valdez Scantling, but
yeah,
better.
yeah, better version of Marquez Valdez Scantling. But yeah, Kyle, that was a huge win for Kyle. 4-4. Huge loss for this. Was this our game of the week? This might because it was you and Dewey, but this was the next game up because because they were both 3-4 and needed a win. I mean, I needed a win too against Dave, so this is what I'm saying. When a lot of teams that needed to win this week actually did win, which is obnoxious for me, but good for Kyle. 4-4. Gorman drops to 3-5. Next game, this was also like I thought that going into this, I think me and you might have even said that Nick might beat Steve.
Yeah, he had a good chance.
And it sucks because it basically came down to Daniel Jones getting him 9 points. Because if you think about it, like if Daniel Jones got like, I don't know, like 20 points or something, or if Hunter Renfrow caught more than one pass, like there's so like, that fucking Vegas game, that actually was such a killer.
Who would have seen that coming? That's so ass.
I wonder if it wouldn't have mattered even if he started Huntley over Renfrow. Oh well, that was sad. I feel like I don't. That's crazy that Steve even almost lost this because it doesn't look like Steve had anyone on bye. Do you see anyone?
I don't know why he benched Metcalf, but no, there's no one.
Oh, because Metcalf like sprained his ankle and like wasn't supposed to play, and then he played and like did good out of nowhere. That was literally completely out of nowhere. I don't blame Steve for that. If Steve knew that he like wasn't just going to be a decoy, because that's the thing is a lot of people were saying like DK Metcalf was going to be a decoy in that game. Regardless, Nick drops to 1-7. Steve goes to 5-3. Steve was someone that I needed to lose. He wins. Nick comes so close. This is like kind of the story of the week is like the underdogs coming so close, but not being able to pull it off. Speaking of, I told Austin, I don't think I'm ever going to forgive him for starting Cortland Sutton over Tyler Boyd this week. And I don't think I will, although it is unlucky that Devontae got 0.7. Either way, Mike won by less than a point for the fourth time this year. 4 of his 6 wins have come by less than a point. He doesn't lose close games.
Yep. What else can we say? He's got the best record.
Yeah, Mike's got the best record in the league, and I think he's the second lowest scorer in the league. So it's like it's absurd, and it's just crazy how these things work out. Because against me, it was Herbert and Mike Williams combining for less than 15 points for the first time in like the 40 games that they've played together or whatever. And then this Devontae Adams, I guarantee you Devontae Adams hasn't scored this little points in a game since he was a rookie, if I had to say.
Yeah.
Devontae Adams caught one pass for 3 yards, 0.7 points. Austin loses by a point. And that's just insane. I can't believe that. What did Mike even have going on here?
He just got one more catch for 5 yards. He would have won. That's just crazy.
Tyler Algier sucks, but
Got a random ass touchdown. It was a random 25-yard screen pass.
I was wondering what happened there because he's bad, dude. He's not. Micah has collected the least efficient runners in the NFL. He's got Najee. He's got Tyler Algier. Damn, man, that's fucking crazy. But
Jeff Wilson.
Yeah, at the end of the day, as unlucky as it is for Devontae to only put up 0.7, it's equally as lucky that he got 40 points from Kamara. And it's also at the same time, in my mind, I feel like Austin has no one to blame but himself, because I don't know, maybe it's because I have Cortland Sutton in other leagues and I'm so over him that I would have started Allen Robinson or Tyler Boyd. Which is probably crazy with Robinson, but a London game against the Jaguars and Sutton has sucked. At the end of the day, it came down to Austin putting someone in over Sutton, but he trusted Sutton and it came back to bite him, and Mike gets another 1-point victory. I feel like Mike's the villain of this league at this point. It's not fair. It's not fair at this point.
Just gonna win and we can't do anything about it.
Mike's luck right now is at an all-time high. Mike needs to spread his luck out to the rest of us, because this is ridiculous. And now our matchup of the week, Dewey versus Paul. Paul, what happened to you in this game?
It's just unfortunate that he had 2 guys score 36, and then the rest of his team just did all right, 11, 12, 10, 13. That's what you expect, but 2 36s, that hurts. And then my team, DJ Moore catching that Hail Mary at the end, it shouldn't have happened, I guess. But also, Mark Andrews getting hurt shouldn't have happened. Chris Olave not doing much against a shit-ass Vegas defense. Worst in the league, mind you. 7.7 points.
I think I blame Vegas for not being able to put up points. They didn't even have to throw.
But still, it's unfortunate. And Joe Mixon just continuing to be garbage.
Joe Mixon is last week. I was thinking I need to win this week, and I was like, do I out of sheer desperation trade Dalvin Cook for Joe Mixon? But I was like, if I do that, I have to get something else with Joe Mixon, and I know you wouldn't have done that anyways. But God, imagine if I had traded for Mixon last year. I'd feel so shitty, because I was like, okay, now he plays Cleveland. Let's ride. No, dude.
Yeah.
No, he is bad. He is not good. But even better was you were actually up by 6 points. No, even how much were you up by when the play happened?
It was 10. It was 10 because he got 40 yards.
He got 10 on that. Yeah, and then
Joe Burrow touchdown plus 40 yards passing. So that has to be 16 points or something. I don't know.
Yeah, so to give some context, Paul which actually Mixon caught a pass at the end of the game though, didn't he? For 20 yards actually. I'm just keeping that in mind. Basically, Paul was up by 8 to 10 points late in that game. The Browns Bengals game on Monday night. And honestly, I wasn't even thinking about you losing at all, because I was focused on Mike losing because Austin was only down by a point to Mike at that point.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden it was like Joe Burrow lofts up like a 40-yard touchdown pass to T. Higgins with like 6 minutes left in a blowout game. But in my mind, I was like, there's no way. Paul probably still won, but it was because I forgot that Dewey had Joe Burrow also.
Yeah.
So yeah, and that was it. Then I looked, and then Dewey was up like 6 or whatever after that touchdown, and that's when I was like, man, even there's not enough time for Joe Mixon. Like Paul lost, which is fucking crazy. I said, I bet you probably also didn't expect to lose at all.
Well,
at that point in the game, with like 5 minutes left, 6 minutes left, like up by 8 or whatever.
Well, if you could recall the CD Lamb, the drive, remember that?
Oh yeah, the drive.
I was texting. I literally that went through my mind before that drive. I'm not even kidding.
But you didn't want to text it this time because the last time you texted
I was like, this is the one. And then after this, they'd probably just run it and run the clock out, whatever. But this is the one I had to survive, and it happened again. You know,
dude, that's the worst part about it. That's what in fantasy, like, it happens every time where you just, like, as a football fan and seeing enough games, like, you know when a drive is like, this is the last drive that I can lose on or I can win on, which hilariously enough, against Mike, when I had Herbert and Mike Williams, that drive came like 6 times. I don't know if you remember that game, but like it was like there were like 3 drives in a row that happened at the end of the fourth quarter where I'm down by fucking 5 or whatever, and then in overtime the Chargers had like 2 drives in that. So but I know what you mean, where it's like you literally think to yourself, you're like, this is the drive that I can lose on. And the craziest part is that the Bengals drove down to like the 30-yard line and nothing was T. Higgins anyway. So it was like, even then I thought, I know, even
2 points before.
Even then I was thinking, like, I mean, you won. Like, there's nothing that could happen unless he throws a 30-yard touchdown to T. Higgins right now. And that's literally what happened, which I think they went in the replay and said it was an offensive pass interference. Which is, yeah. The craziest part about Mike and Austin's game, thinking about it, is that Amari Cooper threw an interception, and if he didn't throw an interception, Austin would have won by 1 point. Also, if Amari wasn't touched on that catch.
True. Yeah, there's a whole lot. Like, the thing that made me feel better on this, looking at it, was like DJ Moore's catch and T. Higgins just cancel out. So I guess I still deserve to lose.
I think Dameon Pierce too, because he was really bad, but so that was another thing also. But yeah, I would say for you, I wouldn't be feeling bad because you're still 5-3. Like, if you would have dropped to 4-4 or something, or like if you needed to win this game, this would be heartbreaking. But you were like pretty locked into the playoffs as it was. I don't know who you play this week. Maybe you play like a good team.
So
yeah, you're fine either way. Oh yeah, and it's Austin with all his buys too. I think he has a shit ton of buys.
A couple.
Yeah. But yeah, you lose to Dewey in heartbreaking fashion. Brutal. Let's take a look at the standings after last week's game. So in first place in the East, we have Paul at 5-3. Second place in the East, we have me at 4-4. Third place is Gorman at 3-5 on a 5-game losing streak. And then fourth and fifth is Austin and Mike at 1-7, which is just absurd because Austin probably should have 3 wins right now, and Nick could have 2. It's just like, things just haven't gone their way. Especially Nick, dude. Nick is. I feel bad for Nick. It does. If I were Austin, I'd be feeling pretty shitty that him and Nick have the same chances at playoff, like the same playoff chances, because Austin's like doesn't have injuries and stuff. Like, Nick has been decimated by injuries. Like, Austin hasn't. Austin just hasn't won games. Either way. In the West, Dewey in first at 6-2, Mike in second at 6-2, Dave in third at 5-3, Steve in fourth at 5-3, and Kyle in fifth at 4-4. Highest scorer on the year, I think, is still Dave. Oh my God, no, it's Kyle. Oh, because Kyle just put up 164 points. Yeah, okay. So, because look, he only has 10 more points than Dave, and Dave put up 100. He outscored Dave by 60 and just barely passed him. That's how good Dave's team was with Brees Hall, dude.
Yeah.
That's so fucked. So Kyle, highest scorer. Nick, lowest scorer. Austin, Mike, pretty much in that lowest score category. Me, Steve, and Dewey, and I guess kind of you. We're all in like the same area within like 50 points of each other, or so 60 points. Yeah. It's kind of funny because I put up 140 points or whatever, but everyone else also scored a shit ton. So I was like, well, damn, I didn't even like gain any like thing back on that. I might be low in points scored on. Yeah, I'm lowest at because Dave was the only team that didn't score high this week, so I'm the lowest scored on now. Highest scored on is Austin. Like I said, Austin's team really isn't like horrible. I mean, Austin's team is as good as Mike's. It's just that Austin's the most scored on.
Right.
It also depends on like when you're scored on and stuff. Because in another league I'm in, I'm the highest scorer and highest scored on, and I'm 2-5, 2-6 now because it's 8 weeks in. And it's just because like I've been losing games like 150 to 140 and 180 to 160. Like when I have good weeks, I lose, and when I have bad weeks, I like still lose pretty much. That's what was happening to Kyle in the beginning because Kyle is the highest scorer. But his team is like so up and down because if you paid attention to like what's happened to him is like when he puts up like 140, he's lost. And then when he puts up like, he's had like 98 point games and like lost. Like Kyle's team is pretty up and down. I don't know how to like the read that I get on Kyle's. I mean, Kyle's beating, we'll get into that later. But yeah, Kyle at this point is the highest score. Should we, Paul, I was going to say, should we have like a little segment? Like at what point do you think, is it halfway through the year now that we can give away like halfway through the year awards? We might have to talk about this.
Yeah, 8 weeks in, there's 13 in the regular season at least. So
yeah. So, well, let's go over the projected playoff bracket real quick. Dewey and you with buys first in each your respective divisions. First round matchup between Kyle and Mike. There's a lot of history there. First round matchup between Steve and Austin. Wow. Or no, Steve and Dave. Steve and Dave, there's no history. Actually, you know what? Longtime West Division rivals. So there's some history there also. It's insane. The playoffs are all West Division teams, and then you. The entire West is in the fucking playoffs. First round matchup in the losers bracket between me and Gorman, and then between Nick and Austin. Also, let's check out what ESPN has for the power rankings. They have Paul at first, which I still agree with, even though Dewey's second. I guess Dewey just beat you. It's tough. You and Dewey are pretty much interchangeable, but I think with Dewey beating you this week, I think he deserves the one spot for now. Either way, it doesn't really matter. You guys are the clear top two. Dave projected third. Probably still agree with that. Steve projected fourth. Kyle projected fifth. I'm projected sixth. Mike projected seventh, which means that ESPN is projecting Mike to lose the rest of his games, basically. Because I think if he goes 7-7, he's probably still in. So he's literally, ESPN is projecting Mike to go 0-6 to end the year. That'd be funny. I doubt it'll happen though. Gorman to finish 8th. Gorman below Mike. It really sucks how far Gorman's fallen, man. And then, oh no, Nick projected to finish 9th and Austin 10th.
Wow.
We had the prediction like 2 weeks ago that there was no way ESPN would ever project Nick to not be last, but it's changed. It has changed. I don't know. They have the same number of wins. I wonder if Nick's projected to win this week and Austin's projected to lose. I honestly have no idea. But that's a weird, crazy turn of events that Austin is now projected to finish last. Maybe they're punishing him for starting Sutton over Boyd. This is their way to punish him. But those are the power rankings. Should we get into our well? Let's get into our mid-season projections for awards. Starting with Paul, who do you think is going to end as the highest scorer on the year?
I'm thinking Kyle will stick with it. I feel like out of like the top three guys that are really close, Gorman, Dave, and Kyle, Kyle's definitely able to hold on to it the most out of all them, I'd say.
Yeah, I think I agree too. So I was gonna think of some way that Dave's team just has taken such a hit at this point.
Yeah.
So I do think that I think it's probably Kyle too is going to hang on, and then I think we're both in agreement that the award for stinkiest shit it will be Nick, right? He'll end
Oh, I
with the
thought I
lowest
meant.
scored. Oh no, stinkiest team, lowest scoring team. Do we both think that it'll end up being Nick?
Oh, yeah. There's no coming back from that. There's
Okay.
nothing you can do.
And then our award for biggest choke at this point in the year, I
Oh
think.
wait, you mean like from standings or in the playoffs?
So I think so. I'm gonna say biggest choke from where they were in the standings versus where they ended come playoff time, which can even be like Dewey at 6-2. If Dewey were to like lose before the championship game this year, then that would be a huge choke. Like where it's just kind of like projecting what's going on. But at this point, I think that the clear lead in the biggest choker right now is Gorman, right?
Yeah.
Do
for
you
sure.
think that we can? I don't know if anyone can have a bigger choke than losing 5 straight games after a 3-0 start.
If Mike loses that many games in a row, like we kind of expected it, so I wouldn't really call it a choke, you know?
Oh
So
yeah, that's true. Because Gorman's team was looking invincible at that time, and
yeah.
now I still think Gorman has a chance to make the playoffs. Like I'm not writing Gorman out of anything at all, but it is like a pretty massive choke to lose 5 in a row. And then biggest comeback right now, I think that the favorite for me is Steve, because he's won like 4 straight games. Remember we were talking about Steve. This was like Steve was riding his high from last year. He came into this season unprepared, unfocused, and now he's on a winning streak and locked in at an 83% chance to make the playoffs. So do you have another person in mind for best comeback for this year?
Not to toot my own horn, but I did start 1-2, and I thought my season was over.
Yeah,
But
but haven't
now
you
things are
also
looking
played
good.
you've played like Nick and Austin and stuff, right?
I lost to Mike and someone else. I don't
Hey,
know
I
who.
lost to Mike too.
It just hurt me really bad. Thought it was over. But
Yeah,
yeah,
I guess
Steve is mine.
Steve's was I think only because I don't know. Yeah, Steve or you could be in that category. I think either of you can be in that. What other awards can you think of that we can give?
Um, the luckiest of the year, but that's no
Oh,
contest.
okay, yeah. So the luckiest player of the year is obviously Mike, and I don't think there's any way that this season can end with Mike not being the luckiest of the year. So we're both picking him for that, right?
Yeah, easy pick.
Unluckiest of the year, who do you think that goes to?
Either Kyle or Austin.
Yeah, I
Uh,
just don't know if Kyle's games have been like close enough. Let's
yeah.
check Kyle's schedule here. Um, oh no, that was a pretty close loss to Steve. I don't see
It's
anything
been
with
5
Kyle
to
getting unlucky.
Dave.
Oh, you know what? I might say I think unlucky of the year. It doesn't only have to be in terms of like wins or losses on your team. I think it could be like injuries and stuff. And I think Nick Sad
Yeah.
has a case for being
True.
most unlucky of the year. Like Nick's team has just been destroyed. Cam Akers, uh, let's see. I mean, what is happening? Okay, Cam
Forgot
Akers,
most of the people. Just can't
Keenan.
remember.
Yeah, I mean, he's had guys get hurt, and he's had guys not pan out. Like Elijah Moore just randomly isn't anything this year. Like
Yeah.
he had guys get hurt. He had guys
And Sky
completely not
Moore,
pan out.
surprise
Yeah.
too.
Yeah, he had guys completely not pan out and get hurt. And so he might be the winner for that. Who were you thinking? Oh, you were thinking Kyle, or who else were we saying from? Oh yeah, I think Austin has a good
Gorman.
case.
Or Austin, yeah.
Austin has a good case because yeah, so he loses 130 to 126 there. He loses 121 to 116. He loses 104 to 92, and he loses 108 to 107. Okay, Austin's unluckiest of the year. That is 1, 2, 3. That is 4 games that Austin could have easily won that he lost.
Yeah.
So I think Austin, it's between Austin and Nick for me. Kyle hasn't been unlucky. Kyle's like just a boomer bust team, basically. He either puts up like
He was, at least.
140.
He was most scored on by a lot. Now he's
Yeah,
picking
Austin's most scored on. Austin's most scored on.
it up. Yeah.
Oh, Kyle.
Makes
Yeah,
sense.
this is what I'm saying with Kyle is that he's third least scored on, but he's 4-4. It's because he's like he's an up and down team. Like he's losing. I think one of his games he lost like 90 to like 98 or something. You know.
Yeah.
Either way, Austin, I think most unlucky right now. Any other awards that you can think of right now?
I don't know. I think we covered it. Most moves. I think I'll take the crown on that.
Most moves, yeah, you have 26. Oh my
Yeah,
god, I'm
20.
at 20. Usually my team isn't this horrible, so I usually will have like 10 to 15 at this point. But yeah, my team is just awful, so I've had to make a ton of moves. I guess we could think like maybe like best draft is something that we could touch on later on.
Like at the end of the year, yeah.
Yeah.
Like week.
Best draft and worst draft. Worst draft I think is gonna have to go to Nick, which isn't really his fault, but injuries and shit. And then best draft, I think that Dewey had the best draft. Now his team is a lot different because he traded Amari and he traded Kamara and Swift got injured and stuff. But like, think about a fully healthy Dewey, Burrow, Swift, Kenneth Walker, AJ Brown, Amon-Ra, T. Higgins, Alvin Kamara. Like
Kenny Walker would take over.
Yeah, I mean, well, it still is lucky as shit, but it still is something that happened. Like, I really think that Dewey had the best draft of anyone at this point. Either way, those are our midseason picks for the awards this year. And now let's take a look at waivers. How does that sound, Paul?
Sounds perfect.
Okay. So let's check some things that happened since talking last time, which looks like a fucking shit ton.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff.
Okay, so we recorded on Wednesday. So what happened after that? Paul added and dropped Mike Gesicki, right?
Because that was my insurance in case Mark Andrews didn't play, and he ended up playing.
In case Mike Andrews didn't play.
Yeah.
I picked up Wandale for $1. Like I said, at that point, I was debating who to even start. I didn't. If Alan Lazard was out, I was like, oh, I'll start Dobbs, and then I had a change of heart. Either way, Wandale's dead to me. I already was weary of him because Daniel Jones is his quarterback, and now I'm like, whatever. Kyle picked up AJ Dillon. I wish him the best of luck with AJ Dillon. Honestly,
it's literally only if Aaron Jones gets hurt. That's the only way.
I was
actual starter.
It's shocking too because he dropped AJ. He dropped Deion Jackson, which like Jonathan Taylor's hurt again. So that was a head scratcher. But oh well. My guess is he probably is still blinded like I am from AJ Dillon like being useful. Coming into this, like last year, AJ Dillon was useful with Aaron Jones. And this year he's not. He's fucking useless. Let's see. On Thursday, yeah, this is where shit got crazy. Holy shit. Okay, on Thursday, Austin traded Tyler Higbee and Christian McCaffrey to Dewey, and Dewey traded Austin, Alvin Kamara, and Amari Cooper, which I thought was like, I think that Austin wins this trade, but I don't think Dewey loses this trade, if that makes sense.
Yeah. As long as CMC pans out and just basically doesn't get hurt.
He panned out this past week when he scored literally 36 points for Dewey. But Dewey needed a tight end. He gets Tyler Higbee. Dewey was sick of Alvin Kamara. Maybe gave up on him a week too early because Alvin scored 40. But either way, he still gets Christian McCaffrey. And then Austin gets Amari Cooper, who's awesome. And I think this was a good trade all the way around. And then once that was done, since Austin traded away Higbee, Austin was scheming under my nose because then Austin texted me and was like, I accepted your trade. And I was like, oh, nice. And that's when I looked and saw that this Dewey and Austin's trade even went down. So Austin was scheming shit with Dewey. And then once Dewey went
Two-parter,
through with
yeah.
the trade, then he immediately accepted my Pat Fryermuth for Terry McLaurin trade. So yeah, that happened. This is devastating. On Friday, Dave
Sad
drops
sight.
Breece Hall and then picks up Paris Camp mid. Paris Campbell sucks.
Mid-mill.
I was pissed watching this game because you know what's hilarious is how far Drake London has fallen is when Dave picked up Paris Campbell and sat Drake London and put Campbell in, I was like, fuck, that's probably a better move. But I was pissed watching this game because Paris Campbell caught like a 30-yard pass and then ran for like a 30-yard run, and I was like, dude, what the fuck, man? But then he didn't do anything the rest of the game. Either way, Dave gets Paris Campbell, drops Breece Hall, which is devastating. Pinhead Terry drops Jared Goff and adds Andy Dalton.
He had an alright game.
Yeah,
Not
he
bad.
did solid. That's a lateral move to me. That's yeah. Dewey adds Kadarius Toney, who was just traded to the Kansas City Chiefs for $20.
Bones.
I want to check the
Jeez.
offers reports on this. What was that date? That was Friday. No one
Only
even
5.
tried picking
Damn.
up Kadarius Toney.
I put $2 or $0.
Wait, I don't even
no,
see it.
Wait, never mind. Never mind. I thought
Oh,
that was
okay.
just Toney.
No. No one put in anything for Kadarius, which is surprising to me. The only reason that I didn't was because I have buys and injuries. I couldn't have someone that wasn't like playing this week on my team. I added the Patriots, dropped the Jets. It didn't really matter either way. Actually, it looks like the Jets somehow scored more points than the Patriots this week too, but I mainly was picking the Patriots up because they play Indianapolis and then they come back and play the Jets again. So I was like, all right, that's sick. Dave picks up Greg Dulcich, and that was because TJ Hawkinson was questionable at the time and Kelsey has his bye week. Paul adds Trevor Lawrence and drops Mike Gesicki. Spoiler alert, Paul drops Trevor Lawrence again.
I was just prepared for this week because they played Las Vegas, and then he had a shit game, so I was like, fuck this guy, I'm out of here.
So
that's why I dropped him.
So then on Friday also, Austin had no running back to play, so he trades to Paul Jacoby Myers, and Paul gives back Eno, Benjamin, and Allen Robinson.
Finally parted ways with Allen.
Yeah,
I couldn't do it anymore.
You got something for Allen Robinson. That's about all you can say about that. Kyle adds Josh Reynolds, drops Rondale. Kyle and Josh Reynolds are like it's like a couple that keeps breaking up and getting back together, because this is probably the third or fourth time he's dropped Josh Reynolds and then picked him back up. I think he dropped him for the bye, picked him back up, dropped him, picked him back up before this game. I don't know if he's still on his team, but yeah, him and Josh Reynolds, man, they are having some relationship issues. Nick drops Daniel Jones.
Just straight up dropped him. That's what I laughed about when I first saw it.
And then Steve drops.
He didn't want to wait.
Steve was so disgusted in the Falcons' defense against Carolina, he just dropped them too. But yeah, no, I do love that Nick was like, dude, fuck Daniel Jones. Look at how unlucky that was for Nick, though. Yeah. 9 points is his lowest game of the year. Now we have what just happened today, which was I'll open up the offers in another tab. I added Rondale Moore for $8. I dropped Wandale because he's useless, which I looked after and I was like, I hope someone else put a bid in on Rondale, and I looked and Nick put in 6. So I was like, oh, thank Christ, dude. So now I don't.
Mike
I don't
putting $0. He has no money.
Mike putting $0 on just a bunch of mid. That's so fucking funny. But dude, Kyle was putting $0 on a bunch of mid too. I put a bunch of $0 on mid also.
Yeah, I tried to get Harrison Butker. Did you take him?
Yes, I tried getting Harrison Butker too. No, someone else got him. Who the fuck got Harrison Butker? Austin got Harrison Butker. Okay, either way, you picked up Justin Fields. You dropped Trevor Lawrence. I think that's probably like a solid move. The only thing is, so I had money on Justin Fields to pick him up, just in case he turned into anything. But then after the Dolphins traded for like Bradley Chubb and stuff, then I was like, oh fuck, dude, like Justin Fields might get fucking killed against the Dolphins. So then I put $0 in for Justin Fields. Um, but
Don't trust Lawrence. It's a battle
yeah, I
admitted
mean,
for
you're
that
just
one.
doing like a 1 week thing. I just hope it
Yeah.
doesn't turn out to where like in the end it's like, oh yeah, Trevor Lawrence was playing Vegas, who's horrible. You should have played them. But I don't
Miami
think.
has a pretty bad defense against quarterbacks. I looked it
Yeah,
up.
well, that's what I was saying. But then they also added like
Yeah, true.
defensive pieces and trades. That's why I was saying I was like, oh, I'll add Justin Fields, and I was like, fuck, dude, maybe not. Um, Kyle adds the Dolphins defense and drops the Titans defense. Okay, okay. So I'm
A
rooting for
defense ad
Justin.
for $0.
I'm rooting for Justin Fields this week. Me and you both are now because I play
Oh, you
Kyle.
play Kyle? Oh, okay.
Um, Dave added the Colts defense for $4. What was that? Why did he do
Just
that?
wait, dude.
Yeah, New England, I guess. Yeah.
Just wait to see Dewey's. That one shocked me.
Whoa!
$8.
Dewey added the Seahawks for $8, and they're playing Arizona. Yeah, I guess they did good last time. Holy shit, though. Yeah, that's fucking crazy. This is insane because when we've seen, think about it, Paul. When I was like yelling at you, which was more of the fact that you had a top 3 defense but kept adding defenses, but you were adding like the best defense of the week for like $4, and they were
Yeah.
good defenses with like top 3 matchups. These are just like 2 okay
Yeah.
defenses in like bad matchups or okay matchups, I guess. That's fucking crazy. You add Isaiah Likely for $0. What are people doing that they're like not
That's
putting
just.
money on
Oh,
Isaiah
I was
Likely?
gonna say, what do you do? I thought you were saying that to me.
No, I
That's
don't know why
attacked
no one would
me.
put money on Isaiah
I
Likely.
know.
What
I
the
was
fuck?
about to put money, and I was like, I wonder if like no one knows who he is or needs one.
I should have put $1 on Justin Fields at this point then. But either way, you still would have had Trevor Lawrence, so it wouldn't have mattered.
Yeah.
And
That's why I didn't
and
put money on him.
regardless, if I picked up Justin Fields, I would have had to drop Kirk Cousins, and Kirk Cousins is probably a better play against. I think
Yeah.
who are they playing? Washington. So I would, yeah. I don't know. I'd still like whatever. I'm biased towards Justin Fields because I think he's cool to watch. That's
Yeah.
basically it.
It's entertaining.
Yeah.
I like.
So yeah, you pick up Isaiah Likely, Nick picks up Evan Ingram, Austin drops Brett Maher and picks up Harrison Butker. Fuck you, Austin. And then Pinhead Terry, he is reunited with Tyler Conklin, who he has added and
Yeah.
dropped. Whoa, man! Conklin had 23 points.
He hit himself a day. Just 2
Yeah.
touchdowns.
Yeah, I didn't even notice that. But yeah, Mike is reunited with Tyler Conklin, and then Steve picks up Deion Jackson for $6, and with Jonathan Taylor, looks like he might be out this week. That's a good ad. That's why I'm saying I don't know why Kyle dropped Deion Jackson for AJ Dillon when Jonathan Taylor was already like banged up. But to each his own. That's all for the waivers. So now we go over.
Shit.
Yeah, that's a lot of stuff that happened. The trades are amping up. I wonder if anything else is going to happen trade wise. I've got nothing in mind or anything, but it'd be pretty.
Mike's trying to get rid of Najee though. That's on the
So
move possibly.
So Mike's been trying to get rid of Najee for weeks, and the thing with Mike is he has to ask for something reasonable for Najee. He has to look and be like, look, Najee sucks. I can only get something that sucks in return. And I think he's asking for too much from what I've seen from people. So he might just be holding on to Najee. But either way, let's look at this week's matchups. Starting at the top with me versus Kyle. Now, last week I said Dave was going to beat me, but I didn't really mean it. I actually thought that was a 50-50 chance. This week I am fucked. I have Mike Williams injured, Rashad Bateman injured, Damian Harris injured, Gus Edwards injured, Saquon on bye, Brandon Ayuk on bye. I'm fucked.
Tough week.
Yeah,
I looked at this earlier. I was like, well, that's tough.
That's why
Mike Williams getting hurt is the worst.
This is why when I lost to Mike that week, I was already looking ahead and was like, I have a 50-50 chance to beat Dave, and then I'm gonna lose to Kyle because my team is gonna have bye weeks and injuries and stuff. And yeah, looking back, I mean, if I was 5-3 right now, it wouldn't feel as bad losing to Kyle. But this should be, I think this is probably gonna end up being like, so because I have terrible luck. Gabe Davis, this will be his 30-point week. Tyreek Hill is gonna have 30 points. Austin Eckler's gonna have 30 points, and Jalen
40.
Hurts is gonna have 30.
Eckler,
So
they have no receivers on the Chargers now. Eckler's gonna get 50 catches.
yeah, so I think Kyle has 3 guys that are gonna put up 30 points on me, or 4 guys that are gonna put up 30 points. So I'm so fucked in this one, but maybe I can get really lucky. Mike versus Gorman and Nick. Nick versus Gorman, and Nick is looking for a dub this week. Whoa, and he might get it.
What's happening? Yeah, what?
Nick,
Gorman's
I
team.
think might get. Nick's got Evan Engram on the bench, so when he puts him in, Nick is going to be projected like 110 points, and Nick looks like he might win this game. And Nick's last win was his only win of the year was against Gorman. Nick's was. So Nick might end this year with a 2-0 record against Gorman. Do you think there's any shot Gorman wins this one?
If he needs to pick up a tight end, it looks like.
He needs to pick up a tight end, and he needs to pick up 2 flex spots, and he needs James Conner to play, and what the fuck? And he needs a new kicker.
No,
yeah, I think Gorman's fucked this week. Oh no! What the fuck? That is craziness. So for anyone, if you're watching or listening and not watching, Nick is going to be projected 110, and Gorman is projected 75. And I don't really know how Gorman gets that projection up past 90 at this point.
Yeah, I was just gonna say it can't go past 90. Just picking up waiver guys, there's no shot.
So that is a crazy development in this league. Gorman trying to avoid a 6-game losing streak, but it's not looking good. And now, oh my God, this might be. We have two. Okay, so you see this one, Paul. Which one do you think it should be?
I'd say Dewey and Dave.
Yeah, I think it's Dewey and Dave also. Dewey and Dave are matchup of the week. 2 West Division rivals. Dave, more points scored on the year than Dewey. Lost Brees Hall. Lost to me as an upset, and Dave's looking to get revenge. And then Dewey, off of his huge win against Paul, he's looking to keep that momentum going and take down another Titan in the league. Dewey doesn't have his defense in yet, so Dewey's going to be projected 110. Dave doesn't have his defense in yet, so Dave's going to be projected 110. 110 to 110, a battle of the ages. Last time they met, Dave beat Dewey 141 to 109. But these teams are totally different now.
Game has changed.
For one, Dewey actually doesn't have McCaffrey this week, which is going to be a huge blow to him. And then 2, Dave doesn't have Brees Hall. So these are like. This is crazy. Who do you think is going to win this matchup, Paul?
If I had to pick, just because McCaffrey's on a bye, I got to go with Dave. And Swift didn't practice today, so it's not looking good for him. He'll probably split with Jamal Williams again. So I got to go with Dave here.
Yeah, I think I'm picking Dave too. I think Dave's looking for a bounce back. And if Dave beats Dewey this week, he officially owns Dewey. And I think I don't want to say there's a new king in town. There can't be a new king in town. Dewey's team is too good. McCaffrey's out. That's getting ahead of myself. But
too close.
If Dave goes 2-0 against Dewey this year, that is a huge development. So game of the week, Dewey, Dave, dead even line right now. Here we go for another shit matchup, just like me versus Kyle, where I'm going to get blown out by Kyle. Austin is going to get blown out by Paul. It's the Paul luck, because Paul has everything go his way, and when he plays players, they're always on the week where they have no one in. So Austin has Zeke out, Sutton out, Amari Cooper out, Pat Fryermuth out. So Austin is down 4 starters against Paul, and Paul's the luck streak.
Still
got the luck streak keeps going.
It's not like my team's butt.
So Paul got extremely lucky again here. And Austin barely lost to Paul last time, and it doesn't look like Austin's going to be getting a dub this time because he's just got everyone out. Everyone's out for Austin. So nothing to see here. Oh, and if Austin, it's looking like he's going to be in last place after this week. That's why. Remember the power rankings had Nick over Austin?
Oh, yeah.
It's because they're like, oh, fuck, Nick's actually going to win this week. Fuck, I guess he goes over Austin. Damn, that sucks, man. So Paul is going to go to 6-3 after this week. And now we got another potentially good matchup here. It is Steve versus Mike. Let me see if there's any changes either team's going to make. Doesn't look like it.
Mike's benching Najee for Algier.
Najee's on a bye, but
Never mind.
that was a good. That was a good. Oh, so last time these two teams played, this was the first week of the year when Mike beat Steve on a miracle, beat him by 0.4 on Monday night. And now Steve's going to be looking for revenge. And what do you think's going to happen in this one, Paul?
Another 1-point scathing victory for Mike is in the books.
Yeah, I think that people are going to look at this and they're going to say, Mike's team is fucking ass, and Steve's team is on a hot streak right now. Little do they know, first of all, Steve lost David Njoku. Dawson Knox is not it. We all know this.
CD on bye too.
CD Lamb on bye. Yep. Jonathan Taylor might not even play. And with all that in mind, I think this leads to another Mike win. This is the Mike luck as much as it's the Paul luck. You guys have combined luck for the ultimate luck right now. You guys couldn't be playing guys in a better week than you are. And so I think that we're going to look at these matchups real quick. And what are you picking for the upset of the week? I'll get my pick out of the way. My upset of the week is going to be Mike over Steve.
Mike over Steve, yeah. I don't know if you really call Nick over Gorman an upset because Gorman's team is just in shambles.
Yeah, no, that's still an upset though. 3-5 versus 1-7. That counts. But I think me and you are both picking Mike to upset Steve here either way, and I think we're both picking Nick to upset Gorman. And then our matchup of the week, Dewey versus Dave, should be a great one. Everyone should tune into that one. And that's the matchups for this week. So now let's go over our picks, right? I didn't forget anything, right?
Nope. We're
good. All right. So this is how last week turned out. I went 12-3. Paul went 10-5.
The Texans, dude, I forgot.
Because you've been saying the Titans are shit for so long and they just keep winning games. So biggest mistake was picking Bucks over Ravens. Me and you were both like, dude, the Bucks got to get back on track. I should have fucking stuck with my gut and picked the Ravens, but I figured there was just no way that could happen. You picked the Panthers. They lost. I picked the Falcons. They won. We both picked the Jaguars against the Broncos. That was a toss-up game. Fucking whatever. Both of us picked it for our upset of the week. We picked the Commanders, and the Commanders won. It's Heineke season. Our lines of the week, you picked Packers plus 11.5. They lost by 10, and I picked Panthers plus 4.5. They lost by 3. And then the over/under of the week, which I think were just tough last week. You said over Texans Titans over 39.5, which didn't even come close. They combined for 27 points, which nothing. To be honest, I think if you knew that Tannehill wasn't out, you probably wouldn't have picked that. Or maybe you would have.
Nah, Malik Willis isn't that great.
Yeah, I was gonna say. And then I picked Dolphins Lions under 52, and they combined for like 58. Fuck that. It was funny because when we made these picks, Titans Texans was at 40 and Dolphins Lions was at 51.5. So I guess that actually helped your case. No, that helped your case for the over, but actually didn't help my case for the under. No, it did. Yeah. It did because 51.5 to 52, and so yeah. Either way, it doesn't matter. We got our over/unders wrong. 12-3 for me this week. Paul 10-5, and overall, Paul has one game on me on the year. Paul's 66-43. I'm 65-44, and Paul's still riding out the Dave picks from like 3 weeks ago.
Hey, I've been going a little more risky though.
Yeah, the Texans over the Titans. When you picked that, I remember being like, dude, if he actually gets this right, I'm going to be pissed because that's absurd. Either way, let's get into the matchups this week. Paul, what do you say?
I'm looking forward to it.
All right, good. First off, first game of the week that we got going on Thursday night, Eagles Texans. Paul, what is your pick, Eagles?
Damian Pierce pops off for 8 touchdowns and the Texans win.
Yeah,
Just
so
kidding.
I'm writing you down for Texans because you said it.
No.
No, so we're both picking the Eagles in this. Not even gonna be close. So, so next game, Dolphins Bears. Paul, who are you taking?
Tua, as long as he's starting, I'm gonna keep picking the Dolphins. They just keep winning no matter
It's
what.
the Tua
So,
magic, baby. I'm picking the Dolphins too. Although I will say, sneaky upset pick just because it's
true.
in Chicago and the Bears have
we're
looked okay.
big
But
Justin
my
Fields
biggest
fans.
fear as to why I'm not picking the Bears is that Justin Fields is going to come out and throw 2 interceptions and not get it going on the ground, and he'll get Paul 6 fantasy points, and Kyle with the Dolphins defense will get 16 points, and me and Paul will both lose this week.
Yep.
We're both picking the Dolphins. God.
Just not by much.
Yeah, I hope not, dude. I just, that would suck so bad. Either way, Bills, Jets, who are you taking?
Bills easily.
I was gonna say, wow, we're really thinking about that one. Chargers, Falcons in Atlanta. Who are you taking?
This one's a tough one. This is another one of those ones that caught my eye when I was looking earlier, and I could really see the Falcons winning just because the Chargers have no one to throw to except Eckler. But I'm still gonna go with the Chargers.
This is tough. This is really tough. Damn. Oh man. Yeah. I'm gonna pick the Chargers, but I might have to come back to it after. I'll have to really think about that. Panthers, Bengals in Cincy. Who are you taking?
Bengals. Panthers ruined my hopes and dreams last week. Fuck them.
Yeah, I'm taking the Bengals because it's in Cincy, especially. Dude, I hope we get some more Panther magic though. That'd be so funny. All right, Packers, Lions in Detroit. Detroit. Who are you taking?
Let's go with this is another one I was like,
oh really man, yeah, this is also tough.
I could really see them winning, but I'm gonna go with the Packers. So
yeah, I'm going with the Packers. It just wouldn't make sense to me if the Packers lost this game. Like, is that they suck, but it just wouldn't make sense to me. I could come back to that one though. Colts, Patriots in Foxborough. Who are you taking?
Rookie quarterback versus Bill Belichick. No chance they lose.
Yeah, for a second I was about to be like, that could be interesting, and then I was like, nah, he's gonna get smoked. So we're both picking Patriots. Vikings, Commanders in Maryland. Who are you taking?
Vikings, now Super Bowl contenders with Hawkinson. Clearly.
Yeah, the Hawkinson effect. That actually was another reason why I didn't drop Kirk for Fields, is because I was like, oh shit, now he got TJ Hawkinson, so now he's got Thielen, he's got Cook, he's got Madison, he's got Jefferson, he's got Hawkinson, he's got Osborne. Like, Kirk Cousins actually has people to throw to, so he might actually be a viable option going forward. So we're both taking Vikings there. Raiders, Jaguars. Wow.
This is the one I was talking about.
Yeah, this is tough.
I was stuck on this for like 10 minutes. Just to spice it up a little bit. I mean, the Raiders, like, scoring 0 points against the supposedly shitty, great defense.
Supposedly.
I can't talk because they make my brain just go to mush when I think about them. Because
they're so shitty.
The Saints defense, every goddamn week I'm saying they're shit or they're great, and every week it's just the opposite of whatever.
Yeah, that is true. Yeah.
So either way, I'm going with the Jaguars here, just to throw a little twist into it.
The Raiders are fair. Oh, okay. Well, I'm picking the Raiders, but I thought that was going to be an upset pick because it's in Jacksonville.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm picking the upset pick with the Raiders here. It doesn't feel like I'm winning this one.
It's very tough.
I'm taking the Raiders. It's just because I don't know. I'm just flipping it up. It would make more sense to me for the Raiders to be 3-5 I guess, than to be 2-6. So that's why I'm picking the Raiders. That's really the only reason why. Bounce back game. Come on. Seahawks Cardinals. Who are you taking? It is in Arizona.
Another toss-up-y kind of
Yeah,
one.
this week has a lot of toss-ups actually. Holy shit.
I looked and they played each other, and last time it was just like a field goal fest, like
Mm-hmm.
16-9 or whatever.
Okay.
But I think Kyler Murray figures it out. He's gonna go back to his old ways of scurrying around the field looking like a toddler, so I'm gonna go with them.
Yeah, I'm kind of pissed you picked the Cardinals. I thought you were going to pick the Seahawks. But I'm picking the Cardinals, and it's not because I really believe in them. It's more of the fact that it's in Arizona. And like you said, I feel like they put up 3 points against the Seahawks last time. I just can't repeat. In my mind, it just doesn't make sense. They have Hopkins. Like, they really were. I know they lost to the Vikings, but I watched that game. I don't remember thinking that it was like a
Pretty close.
blowout. Yeah,
Like
like the final
gigantic close.
score, like says different. And yeah, so yeah, Kirk Cousins throws this touchdown at the end. It really wasn't like that big. And if you can run with the Vikings, then I think that they have a shot with the Seahawks, especially with it being home. So we're both going Cardinals there. Wow. This Wow.
Yeah.
Rams Bucks in Tampa. Who are you taking?
This is one taking your words. It just doesn't make sense if the Bucks are 3-6. That just
Yeah.
because like the Rams just look like shit all around,
Hmm.
and the Bucks are surprising. So, gotta pick the Bucks here.
Yeah, I'm picking the Bucks because it's in Tampa and that's basically it. And because I feel like the Bucks have looked less worse than the Rams, if that
Yeah,
makes sense.
battle of mid for real.
Yeah, this is a mid battle for sure. Chiefs Titans in Kansas City. I'm going to pick Chiefs.
Chiefs, Titans are ass. I'm sticking to it.
Watch the Titans win again. All right, Ravens Saints in New Orleans. Who are you
The
taking?
elite defense of the Saints is back,
Oh
but I'm going with
shit.
the Ravens.
No! Fuck you. I'm
Lamar
going
prime
Ravens too.
time.
Our picks
Yeah.
are like the exact same besides Jaguars Raiders.
I
I'm
know
not even gonna
this week
lie.
is very lopsided. Like it's so hard to pick the
It's
upsets.
yeah, it's really, we're gonna have a tough time doing our upsets of the week, our over unders. We're gonna have a really, really tough time with these, I
Yeah.
think. I'm just going back to see. I can't do that. Falcons, dude.
Have to be
Falcons.
mine.
Yeah. Well, I'm just thinking if I would change anything. I don't think I'm changing any of my picks
Oh,
though. What
I
was
was
the
thinking
other
for
one
the
I was
upset.
thinking of? Oh, Lions. Fuck, dude. Yeah, I'm sticking with my picks. It would make, like, the Falcons being 5-4 just doesn't make sense to me, and the Packers being 3-6 wouldn't make sense to me. So that's why I'm sticking with my picks. All right, upset of the week. Do you have one that you've been looking at on your end or no?
Yeah. That Falcons Chargers. I really feel like the Falcons can do it.
Yeah, that's a really good pick. I actually just agree with that also. I mean, technically we can have the same upset, right?
Yeah, we did last week. Our
Yeah, that's
Commanders.
true. That is true. I'm gonna
Jags Raiders
is
one is so tight.
Jaguars.
Yeah.
Yeah, is Jaguar.
I don't even
I'm
know if
gonna
that
go.
would count.
I get. Yeah, you're right. It probably doesn't count because it's in Jacksonville. It doesn't feel like an upset. Um, just like, I don't know if is it an upset if the Seahawks beat the Cardinals. I don't know if it is. Do you?
I don't know. That one feels like I don't know.
I'm going Falcons. I just don't.
Yeah. Those other
I
ones just don't feel like it.
it's the Falcons just feel like they're gonna win that game. I'm just going Falcons. All right, over under of the week, which I haven't looked at all. Have you looked at any of these?
Yeah. One that catches my eye would be Bills and Jets. I'm gonna
Mm-hmm.
go with the under on it. Seems pretty high for a mid Jets team.
Bills under, you said, right?
Under, yeah.
All right. So Paul has Bills Jets under 47. Um, I let's see. I seriously haven't looked at any of these. I'm gonna go Raiders Jags under 48. Let me
That's a good one too. I was thinking about it.
Yeah, let me look through and just see if there's anything else. I honestly think that this can go over 43.5, but
Yeah.
48
Eagles,
though?
Texans. It's 45 at the very top. I'd go
Yeah,
under on that one too.
yeah. This is really tough, dude. I might even go under on Colts. No, 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 no. I can't do that. Do I want to go? There was one that I was looking at. Oh yeah, this Vikings Commanders really feels like it could go over 43.5.
Yeah.
Dude, I don't want to do the under. I kind of want to. Wait, you went under 47 for Bills, right?
Yeah.
Right. I'm gonna go under Jags Raiders. Fuck it. But I do think that the over on Vikings Commanders sounds pretty nice also. All right, your line of the week, Paul.
Line of the week. I
Mm-hmm.
didn't really look at these quite yet, but I say Titans Chiefs. That Chiefs one seems a little insane.
Oh, so
Even though the Titans, yeah.
you're gonna
I say
go.
the Titans cover.
Okay, so Titans plus 12.5. Yeah,
Yeah.
I agree with that. You might get a free win with this too, because that might be a line saying that Malik Willis is at quarterback. So that might be a freebie win for you. I am going to go. Hmm. Hmm. Huh. All right.
Huh.
Fuck, dude, this is actually really tough. I wish I could fucking pick one. This sucks, man. Um.
Yeah, there's a lot of
This
really, really
is.
close ones.
Yeah,
I don't like a lot.
these are so. This is
Like even the
brutal.
Chargers Falcons, like 3 points, like they'll just win by a field goal.
I
So
know, dude. Dude, I'm going Eagles minus 14. As
oh no. My poor Texans.
as much as like I just basically what I'm hoping is just that the Eagles don't like sit all their starters the entire second half and then the Texans come to within, 14.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's what I'm going with. Is that everything, Paul?
Uh yeah, pretty sure.
I think it is
Covers it
too.
all.
All right, so I'm gonna put up our picks on the screen for anyone at home that's interested. Um, the only game that me and you are different on is Jaguars Raiders. So keep that one in mind. I have the Raiders. Paul has the Jaguars. For the people at home, our upsets of the week, we both picked the Falcons. Paul's over under of the week is Bills Jets under 47. My over under of the week is Raiders Jaguars under 48. Paul's line of the week is Titans plus 12.5. He might get an easy dub on that because I really think that they're saying that Tannehill's going to be out. And then I have Eagles minus 14. And yeah, that's gonna wrap things up for us in the Footbaps league this week. Paul, you got any closing remarks you wanna say?
Um if I lose to Austin, I won't be surprised. Could happen.
Okay, and if I lose to Kyle, I won't be surprised.
Fair. Fair statement.
Yeah, so game of the week, Dewey, Dave. Remember, upset of the week, we have Mike over Steve. He can't keep getting away with it, but I think he will keep getting away with it.
Jesse Pinkman.
All right. This is the Footbappers signing off.
See ya.
Peace.